The following WJR broadcast is brought to you by MESA for good health, good business, and great schools. To learn more, visit MESSA.org.
It is amazing to see what is happening across the country right now as our nation awaits this event held by President Obama today. And it's an event more than just an announcement, because he is going to surround himself with children in his call for gun controls. Michelle Malkin wrote a piece on this at Town Hall and said the intellectual infantilization of politics and public policy is nothing new, as she criticized the president for surrounding himself and using what she called children as human shields on this issue. She remembered a time when the Clintons did this. The Clintons, a notorious example of using poster children for a cause was health care. They had a 7-year-old girl named Jennifer Bush. Her mother, Kathleen, wrote to the White House about the agonizing decision to choose between purchasing groceries for the week to feed your family or buying needed medications for your chronically ill child. Her gallbladder, appendix, and fragments of her intestines had been removed in a desperate attempt to diagnose a mystery sickness. And the child even gave the Clintons a lucky silver dollar to, quote, bring you good luck so everyone can have good insurance. And she dutifully told the press, I pray every night that I can get better and that everyone can have insurance. And Hillary Clinton, who was in charge of the healthcare initiative, paraded this child and her mother around Capitol Hill for photo ops and press conferences. 200 hospital visits later, $2 million in medical bills later, 2 years after she was propped up, doctors discovered the only thing wrong with little Jennifer was that her mother had been starving and exploiting her while splurging herself on trips, motorcycles, and home remodeling. Mrs. Bush was sentenced to 5 years in prison on 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and welfare fraud. That was the prop that was used by Hillary Clinton back then. So President Obama will surround himself with children today. Meantime, across the country, gun shows are seeing record attendance. The Gibraltar Gun and Knife Show over the weekend had a big turnout, and a lot of the talk was about what's going on in Washington, of course. 60,000 are expected to attend a show in Las Vegas. In Idaho, they've got a show, and one organizer said people can hardly walk. They've got so much stuff. A gun dealer in South Dakota said there is unprecedented demand. In Kentucky, some store shelves are bare of ammunition. Lines have stretched for hundreds of yards in Virginia. Here in Michigan, we've heard of increased activity at gun stores as the announcement from the president on possible gun controls comes your way in less than 2 hours from now. Ed Swadish is owner of the Huron Valley Guns store in Milford, and on the other end of our line this morning to talk about this and a very special day coming up on Sunday. Ed, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Frank. Fine. How are you?
I'm good. I think I said Sunday. I meant Saturday for the Gun Appreciation Day that is coming up. My apologies for that. Let's talk first of all about the increased activity that we're seeing across the country at gun stores. Are you seeing the same at your shop in Milford?
Yes, we are, Frank, and it's really been quite a frenzy. We've had just a wide gamut of people coming in, from first-time buyers to grandmas. There's just been a ton of activity, especially around guns that are being perceived as possible candidates, for the ban.
Are they? Which guns are you talking about there?
Pretty much the assault rifles. Anything with a high-capacity mag, any type of pistol that has 10 rounds or higher. They seem to be quite popular right now. And
are people voicing their concerns to you as they're making these purchases and shopping, or give us a flavor of what it's like with the customers?
Absolutely. I think we have many people that have been considering buying firearms like this for sport, for fun, and now they feel like it's possibly now or never.
Before the president speaks with this group of children around him today to try to elicit sympathy for his position and maybe his challenges to the Second Amendment, I'd like you to explain something to the audience as I'm going to declare you an expert on guns, obviously. You've got a gun shop. You do this for a living. Can you describe for our audience, in short, what an assault rifle is and why an assault rifle is not necessarily the problem?
Well, first off, I have many hunting rifles that are more powerful than assault rifles, and an expert with a firearm, a bolt-action firearm, can shoot almost as many rounds through that as they can an assault rifle. So the assault rifle kind of has a stigma to it that I don't think is deserving. Truly, the common denominator with everything is mental illness, and that's been identified. As the problem, but the NICS system, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, while they were given $375 million in allocation last year, they were only provided in actual funds $20 million. So they are totally underfunded, and that's our first line of defense to make sure guns don't get into mentally ill people's hands.
So the government's already let us down on this.
Tremendously. And actually, candidate Obama himself said, all we need to do is enforce the current laws. Most guns that were used in massive killings were legally obtained. For example, NICS, they don't get all the mental health information needed. If you came in to buy a gun from me, we run your name through the FBI. And, with them being underfunded, they don't have all the info on mental health. For example, due to chronic underfunding, there's 10 states that NICS still lists as, not showing anybody that's mentally ill. There's 18 more states that have fewer than 100 people listed as mentally ill. And as of right now, millions of records are still missing. And as of December 2011, there's only 2,000 people that are listed as being drug abusers or chronic addicts in the NICS system. So we need to start there before we start looking at what type of firearm. They've been trying to, they've looked at, this is nothing new. I mean, during Roman days, they tried arms control. And Seneca the Younger said, a sword never kills anybody. It's a tool in the killer's hand. And that's still true today.
Indeed. I want to talk more with you about the weapons, what might happen here with the president today, and also reflect on the event coming up Saturday. Ed Swadish with us, owner of Huron Valley Guns in Milford, and we'll continue with him in just a moment. But right now, talking with gun shop owner Ed Swadish of Milford on the Frank Beckmann Show. Well, one other note I want to make about these assault rifles that we're going to hear a lot more about, I suspect, today. These are not the same as the rifles used by our military members that can fire automatically multiple rounds with one pull of the trigger. I think that's important. And also people see I think it's the Bushmaster, is it? I'm not totally familiar with all of the different weapons. But Ed, the AR designation for a weapon is not for assault rifle. AR actually stands for the name of the company that made it, right?
No, actually, AR does stand for assault rifle.
I was told it was the name of the company that made it, so I stand corrected.
Yeah, there's Armalite who makes ARs, but there's many different manufacturers that make ARs. So
they just have sort of adopted that as the AR is then the designation for assault rifle. All
That's
right.
correct.
Now, but is there a big difference between the Bushmasters, say, that I can buy from you and what the military uses?
Well, first off, that's a big error in thinking, is that these are the same as the military's. The military has an M16, which is fully automatic. These are simply semi-automatic weapons, the ARs. I mean, you pull the trigger, a bullet comes out. And I'll tell you, the AR, for anybody that's ever shot one, it does have 30 rounds in the magazine, but it's very hard to shoot that weapon rapidly and hit your target. I mean, you'd have to be highly trained to shoot more than 3 rounds and be able to hit a silhouette. I mean, far more pistols have been used in mass shootings than an AR. And also the 1994 ban that was in place to begin with. I mean, it did little to reduce gun crime. And since the 94 ban, while that was in effect, there was 14 mass shootings. So it did absolutely nothing.
Finally, the session coming up Saturday, there are going to be these events held around the country. Gun Appreciation Day. You're involved in it here, we understand, Ed. What's exactly going to be taking place? Where are you going to be meeting, and what are you urging people to do?
Well, it's a national effort to support responsible legal gun ownership. It supports and salutes Americans who believe in the Second Amendment. Not just gun people will be there, but also freedom-loving groups as well. It's Saturday at 10 a.m. Come on out and show your support for the Second Amendment. Bring a grill, hang out in the parking lot, come in the store. We'll have specials all day. And it's just our chance to show the world that legal gun owners are not cowering and going to be shamed in the fact that we own guns, and we're not giving up our Second Amendment rights.
I'll be most anxious when the president makes his announcement today on what he wants to do, to sort of apply those to the people who carried out these horrific attacks in Aurora and in Connecticut. And I want to see whether those proposals would have made any difference whatsoever.
Yeah, I would like to see that myself. Maybe his Obamacare will address the mental illness issue we have in America.
I would hope so, because you're absolutely right on that. That's the bottom line. And if somebody hasn't had treatment, there's no way to know that they had the mental illness to begin with. So
correct.
All right. The Gun Appreciation Day will be at your shop, Huron Valley Guns, 143 South Milford Road in Milford, this Saturday, 10 a.m. And you did say bring a grill in the parking lot, not bring a girl. I thought you might have said bring a girl, and they said, no, he said grill. So,
bring a grill, some burgers, some steaks, whatever you got. Come on out and hang out with us.
Bring a girl, too.
All right.
All right. See you later. Have a great time on Saturday. Be safe, and we'll wait together to hear what the president has to say.